What's up, good people? It's your boy Kelvin, man. Coming at you. Salute to everybody. Hope y'all doing well out there today. Know it's been a minute, man. Just been busy with life, man. Taking care of stuff. But I just want to have a quick conversation, man, about this Luka situation and Nico Harrison. Saw a couple videos online about this situation, and I just want to give my final thoughts. And I do have a question, a serious question. Uh, Might be a little uncomfortable, but I'm not afraid to say it, and it is what it is. First off, Nico Harrison, the Dallas Mavericks decided to part ways with him after the trade and the slow start because of the injuries. Nico Harrison is a guy I never really had any kind of strong emotional feelings either way about, dude. He was a GM of the team, excuse me, and I had no hatred or dislike. He just was who he was, doing his job, and he feel like he had to make a trade. He had to do what's best for the team, and so far it hasn't worked out because of injuries. Now, after the trade first happened, and I seen that first game and a half, and the team was healthy and they was playing, I thought the team looked better than the team that went to the finals. But unfortunately, they've had several injuries. Kyrie Irving, of course, Anthony Davis, and now they got 4 or 5 guys out that's out the lineup now. And maybe they season to turn around. They got Cooper Flag, a young player, to build in the future, and maybe it'll work out for him. I don't know, but the Mavericks decided to part ways with Nico Harrison. Fine, I have no issue with that. Don't really, whatever. But I kind of want to go back to some of the things I said last year and I have a question. I just, you know, first off, I'm gonna say what I said before about the trade. I understand uh, why they did it. Would I have done it myself? I don't know. But when I say I understand this, let me explain. Because a lot of young fans and stuff, they're just looking at the talent of Luka and him being young or whatever. And of course, yeah, Luka's a great offensive player or whatnot. But this is kind of what, as I listen to people, some people never really grasp this part of the situation with Luka. And so I just want to kind of remind y'all, okay? Now, when I say I understand, I understood and understand why they did it from the discipline part. Luka being a headache behind the scenes. You see, like I said before, at a certain point, real grown men and grown folks, no matter how great you are and how talented you are, it's going to come to a point, if you don't change your bad behavior, they're not going to want to deal with you anymore. See, I'm kind of reference my life. I grew up with a father. A lot of, especially black kids and stuff, they don't grow up with a father. It's only a small percentage. I was blessed enough to have a father who raised me. And my father was one of those type of dudes. He was a no nonsense. He demanded respect. And he did not tolerate me raising me and my brother to disrespect authority figures. And he instilled that in me. So when the things start coming out about Luka, the behind the scenes stuff, him not staying in shape, and we seen on the court him constantly disrespecting referees and stuff like that. And this is something that had been ongoing for years. I understand at some point you get fed up with it and you feel like, hey man, this dude is great, but this dude is an a-hole. We have given this guy 5-6 years and we have tried to talk to him. We begged and pleaded and everything. This guy to stay in shape, eat better, obey authority, and he just won't do it. And so we have to move on. We have to move on. So I understood that. And so, as far as the trade situation go, I'm not gonna give Luka Doncic any kind of pass. He ain't no victim. The reason why Luka was traded was because of his own doing and his own actions. Now, you can argue, whine, and cry about what they got in the trade or whatever. I'm not here to debate that and whether it worked out or not or whatever. I'm not here to debate that. But the reason why the trade even happened is because of Luka's bad behavior over a long period of time. You see, if Luka would have been doing what he's supposed to do, if he would have been had discipline and listened to the authority figures, the coaches, the GMs, and assistant coaches, and keeping himself in shape and stuff like that. If he was doing what he was supposed to do and been a model citizen, a model player, and just a great player, go out there do his thing and do his part and listen to authority and coaches, he would have never got traded. It'll been never been no doubt about them paying him the contract. The thought of trading Luka would have never happened. It would have never happened. And so my question is, this is going to be uncomfortable, but I have to say it. I'm a straight shooter. I can have the uncomfortable conversation. I've had it. And this is my question to Luka fans, particularly white fans in Dallas and around the world, in America, around the world. Why is it that Luka Doncic continues to get a pass and y'all overlook his years of bad behavior? Why? Now, before you come in here talking about I'm some racist black dude or something like that, I ain't racist. Anybody heard me speak, I call it down the middle. I've criticized black people, and black people heard my videos and came at me and didn't like it. I'm fair and call it down the middle, and I'm finna call it down the middle, and I'm finna call out the white people. Y'all, why is it over all this time, y'all letting Luka Doncic get away with consistent bad behavior? Why is it that he's not accountable for his bad action? Why is it he's not held accountable for the trade? Why? If his behavior was correct and he was doing what he was supposed to do, he would have never got traded. I don't want to hear nothing about that overrated NBA Finals run, that fluke run where, you playing the injured Clippers and the miniature OKC with no center, and you playing a young Timberwolves team, and Luka hit some fluky step back threes in the end of game one and game two, and you pull out a series, and then you get mopped in the finals. I don't want to hear nothing about that overrated finals run. Nothing. The Mavericks were never really a serious threat with their team. They wasn't going to win with their team that they had with Luka. So I don't even want to hear nothing about that overrated Western Conference Finals run. Don't even come at me with that nonsense. But Luka has had this issue, even going back before he came to the NBA. I'm going to play this one clip. This is the only clip I'm going to play. And this is Brian Windhorst. And he's going to talk about a situation that happened with Luka. I believe this is before he came to the NBA. Or it might have been early in his NBA career. I want y'all to look at this video clip and listen to what he say. And I'll be right back.
And the reason I was so viscerally upset during the finals last year was because I have seen Luka in these big games before in international basketball. Once I was watching him in Eurobasket, the Slovenians were the defending. Eurobasket is I know it's outside of America, so people don't care about it, but the toughest tournament in the world to win as a team is the European Championship. All those teams are loaded. They've all got great players. They all played together for 15 years. To go through that tournament and win it is big. The Slovenians were the defending champions. It was one of the great things Luka's ever done is lead Slovenia to the European Championship. I mean, think about that. Think about little teeny Slovenia winning the European Championship, beating the French and beating the Germans, beating the Italians, beating the Serbians. And he was in this game and he completely lost his cool and fouled out, because in international basketball, when you get a technical foul, it counts as a personal foul and you only get 5. He lost his cool, got technical foul, fouled out of the game. Slovenia gets eliminated. couple years later, they're in the World Cup in Manila, Philippines. I am there. They are playing against Germany, the eventual world champions. This is a vital game. They need Luka. They are trying not just to win the championship, they are trying to qualify for the Olympics, which is a really big deal. They finished fourth in the previous Olympics. They're trying to qualify to get back. Luka completely loses his cool at the game and the officials. He goes to center court during a foul shot and is screaming at the Secretary General of FIBA in Spanish, screaming at him, claiming the referees are against him, as if FIBA would not want Luka in the FIBA championship game. And a couple minutes later, can you imagine, this was like the international quarterfinals. Can you imagine if, like, during the Western Conference finals, Luka Doncic came out to center court and was MFing Adam Silver in the stands at center court? That's what was happening. He completely lost his sight of the game, completely lost his cool, and got ejected. So I had seen him do this several times. In other words, he should have learned from this. And I know you might say, well, who cares about the FIBA World Cup in the Philippines? Well, he does. It's important. And I saw him do it twice and cost his country. So if we get into game 3 of the finals, it's essentially elimination game. No one has ever come back from 3-0 down in the finals. And he completely loses his cool. And they end up winning game 4. The Mavericks were on a roll at that point when he gets ejected. I mean, he fouls out because he lost his cool. He's screaming at his bench. His demeanor is absolutely unacceptable for that game. And the finals were over.
All right. So that's Brian Windhorst. He's talking about Luka Doncic. He's talking about him playing overseas. I believe this is before he got to the NBA. So here you got a young teenage guy, superstar, great player at a very young age. He leading them through the FIBA championship playoffs, however they got it set up. And he cost them 2 games with his bad behavior. He cursed out a ref. And then 1 game, think about that. Like Brian Windhorst said, this dude stopped in the middle of the game, curse out the FIBA head guy, whatever, general manager, whatever, one of the head guys, officials, during the middle of the game, curse him out. MF this, MF that, at a very young age. Now think about that. But, of course, Rich Eisen, during his interview, he giggled and laughed. White America. Would have been funny if it was a black guy who would have did that in the NBA? I don't know. Let's say it was, whoever the black guy in the NBA right now, a star player in the NBA right now. Let's just say LeBron James. A lot of people don't like LeBron. Let's say LeBron. Let's say LeBron in the middle of a playoff game. First round, second round, whatever, he with the Lakers. And okay, it's a bad foul call or whatever. And he stopped in the middle of the court. Adam Silver is sitting courtside. And he say, MF this, MF or that. Y'all got it rigged against me. MF this, that. LeBron or any black player. Would it be a giggling matter if a black player would have did that in the NBA? White America? Serious question. See, this is what I don't like. And again, I'm no racist black guy. I ain't one of these woke crybaby black dudes that be crying racism and being a fake victim. I'm the opposite. But I'm going to call it down the middle. I am going to pull the race card on this one because I see a lot of bias from you white fans. Y'all been giving Luka a pass all these years. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got nothing to say, but it's consistent bad behavior. You had that incident before he got to the NBA. When he first came in the league, he had friction with Rick Carlisle. Now, Rick Carlisle did some things in the past with Dennis Smith Jr. and Rondo. And I'm not a fan of Rick Carlisle. I don't like Rick Carlisle at all. Very good coach. Won a championship with the Mavericks. He deserves some type of respect for being the coach of the team. But I am no fan of Rick Carlisle. And Rick Carlisle, a lot of times, is an a-hole. But Luka had friction with him. And I ain't talking about when he taking up for Dennis Smith Jr. I ain't talking about that. There was times on the court where Rick Carlisle would call out a play and and Luka would do whatever the hell he want. There was times in the games where Rick Carlisle draw a play for Dennis Smith Jr. and Dennis Smith Jr. takes the shot, and Luka start stomping and pouting and doing all this type stuff. So you was a crybaby punk before you got to the NBA. You come to the NBA, you have friction with Rick Carlisle, you a punk. He ended up having to resign because the organization was going to take Luka's side because he was young, he was a superstar, and they wasn't going to give him an extension because they couldn't get along. So Rick Carlisle, and then you got years and years and years of you behind the scenes, not taking care of your body, defying authority, won't stay in shape. Jason Kidd got to constantly get on you about staying in shape and playing defense. You're getting a bunch of texts every year. Just year after year after year of nothing but vile, disrespectful behavior. But white America, y'all constantly give this dude a pass. Been giving this guy a pass all these years because he can shoot a basketball real good and he a superstar. Oh, I'm going to say it just like y'all said about black athletes. I'm going to say it about Luka, y'all favorite white athlete, or wherever the hell he from, Slovenia, or wherever he from. But y'all give him a pass with his bad behavior because he's a great player. Let me tell you something. There have been athletes that had outlier moments where they get into it with a coach, a superstar player, get special treatment, curse out a ref or whatever, and get into it with a coach. And maybe they have a bad year, bad game, a bad half a season or whatever. And there's been issues where the coach and the player have to split ways. But I have never, ever, since in all the years I've seen watching the NBA, I have never, ever seen a guy like Luka Doncic with bad behavior over such a long period of time. I don't want to hear about any other superstar. Luka has been the worst I have ever seen over a long period of time, going back to even before he got in the NBA. And when he curse out a ref and do something stupid, other than Brian Windhorst that one time in the finals, all y'all white media people and y'all white fans, y'all giggle and laugh just because Luka's a great player, y'all give him a pass. So my challenge and my question to white America, you white fans, when are you going to hold Luka accountable for his consistent bad behavior? Oh yeah, he got traded to the Lakers. Trade happened. It was a game last year with the Lakers. It was a questionable call, foul or whatever. Luka gets fouled. I don't know if it's a foul or whatever, but he's on the floor, he gets up, and he tells the referee, I'm going to F your mother, in whatever language he speaks. That's what he said. And I read through the comments, and all Luka white fans, y'all laughing and kikiing it up and all that sort of type stuff. Think about this. I'm going to F your mother. This is what he told the ref. Ain't nothing funny. Ain't nothing more disrespectful than you talking about somebody's mother. Violence happens when you start talking about people's mother, even death. But Luka says that nobody says anything. White America gives Luka a pass because he's their favorite white athlete. He's a great player. He is a great player. But my question to you guys, white America, and again, I'm no racist, I'm no woke black dude. I don't do none of that nonsense, but I'm gonna call it down the middle. When y'all gonna hold Luka accountable for his part in causing the trade to happen? It was his constant bad behavior for the Mavericks and Nico Harrison and everybody else to even have doubt to trade a dude that's 25, 26 years old. They even have that thought pop in their head to trade him. I ain't talking about whether the trade was good or bad. I don't care. I'm talking about Luka's constant 5, 6, 7 years of bad behavior. I don't care nothing about that finals run. I don't care nothing about no all-star teams. I don't care nothing about no all-NBA. I'm talking about his accountability for his funky ass bad behavior over a long period of time. White America, when you gonna stop giving Luka a goddamn pass for his bullshit ass behavior? When? When are you gonna hold him accountable for his part? Now, I haven't watched the Lakers this year really, so I don't know how he been acting this year. I know in the off season he lost weight and he putting up a bunch of offensive points. Who cares? We know he can shoot and score in this easy ass era. So him putting up a bunch of offensive numbers and shooting and scoring, we already know he's gonna do that. Now, as far as his behavior with JJ Redick and the refs, I don't know. I don't know about this year, so I'm not gonna accuse him of anything this year. But last year, going back to his time with the Mavericks, going back to before he got to the NBA, when are y'all gonna hold Luka accountable for his funky ass bad behavior? When? I'm asking the uncomfortable questions, white America. When y'all gonna hold him accountable? When? If it was a black dude, you be talking about black fatigue and all this old type jazz or whatever, and y'all have plenty to say. Usual suspects and all this old type stuff, and that's fine. There are a lot of black people in the world and stuff like that that do bad things, and they should be held accountable for their behavior. Okay, white America, when you gonna hold Luka accountable for his shitty ass behavior he's had over the past 6, 7 years? When? I'm just being real honest. When y'all gonna hold him accountable? You know, Rich Eisen, you listen to what he said about him being a young kid cussing out the refs, and you giggle and laugh. Hee hee ha ha. MF this, MF that to an authority figure. And that's funny. That's funny. So, you know, hey man, Luka gonna do what he do as far as offense and scoring points. Maybe the trade woke his ass up and he'll stop acting stupid and he'll just play and be a great player. Maybe this trade was a shift and maybe he changed his life. And that's fine. If we do, great. But we can't forget his part of causing the trade. It was his fault. He did not do what he was supposed to do. He the one caused the Mavericks to have doubt. The ownership, Nico Harrison, whatever, to even want to trade. You know, if he was doing what he's supposed to do and his behavior was correct, and if his damn daddy would have disciplined his ass when he was a young kid growing up overseas, instead of letting him being a spoiled ass brat and a spoiled athlete, then maybe he would have came to the Mavericks, kept his dumb ass in shape, did what he's supposed to do. The Mavericks would have paid him and everything would have been cool. You know, and hey man, in the past I gave Luka nothing but credit for his behavior. I know in the finals he had a bum knee and he was hurt, playing on the hurt. That's cool. That's fine. But at some point, Luka has to change his stinking ass bad behavior. And it was his fault, the reason why his ass got traded. Now, it might work out good for him, man. Maybe, you know. Do I think the Lakers go win anything this year? Hell no. They'll lose in the first or second round. And that's that. Luka put up great offensive numbers, 30 points a game, a bunch of assists and rebounds, whatever. And hey, man, maybe this past offseason when he got himself in shape, maybe this year he has changed his behavior. If he has, God bless him. But, you know, you white people never had nothing to say other than a few people saying he was a crybaby, but Luka was the worst I've ever seen over a long period of time of bad behavior by a superstar player. There's been nobody nowhere close. This fool has been a disrespectful punk before he got to the NBA, his whole time in the NBA, up until the end of last year. Nothing but a disrespectful punk. This is why I don't like the dude no more, man. I don't like that. I don't like disrespectful punks. I don't care how great you are. I don't care. So, just a question, white America. You know, you quick to have something to say about a black athlete and a black player. If he was doing something stupid. I'm just saying. But I'm up out of here, man.